had seen it before. It turns truth into lies. But I won't back down. I must stay on this road. I gotta know what I'm about. It goes up and turns back down. We're all looking for the moment when, getting used to not knowing when all the pieces fall in line. It goes up and turns back down. I keep searching for signs in my dreams back then. I don't know how to stop, 'cause it brings back the feeling that I
All right, we are live. Hey everyone, I am live. We are broadcasting, yes, in multiple locations. I see many of you already saying hello. And go ahead and tell me your first name, where you're watching from. We are broadcasting this over on our YouTube channel. We've also got it on 3 or 4 different places on Facebook with our different Facebook pages and groups, Twitter and Periscope. So wherever you're tuning in from, welcome. There's a lot of things you could be doing on this Monday night, but you chose to be right here investing in yourself. You're the kind of person that I like to hang around. So welcome everybody. Literally, we put this thing together today. I'm being really honest. So over the weekend, I was just thinking about, we're getting into the Christmas season and a new year is coming upon us. We all know what 2020 has been like this year. It's been a time of change. It's been a time of uncertainty. And I just was thinking about what could I do to help maybe be an encouragement to our community. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do a behind the scenes week. I've been saying this, and for those of you that are here that tune in every Wednesday to our live Market Your Message live stream show, I've been saying for weeks that I was going to show how I do live streaming. And I said, I'm going to do it because I keep getting the question. And then finally I was like, over the weekend, literally I was doing something, well, I'll be honest with you. I was hanging Christmas lights on my house. And I had this idea of why don't I take a day each day this week, and I would say for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and just show behind the scenes. Sometimes I think it's easier when you're just kind of showing what you do. So there is no formality here. I've actually got an iPad where I can scribble a little bit. I don't have any professional slides. It's just me, you, and a bunch of other people hanging out this evening. Tonight's topic is how I do blogging. And so I've got my iPad here that I'm going to be sketching out some things. In fact, let's go ahead and write down at least a little bit of an overview so you know what to expect, what we're going to talk about tonight. So let me grab my pen here. And here's a few things that I was thinking about that I could share with you guys. First of all, and I think this is a big one for a lot of people, is why blog, or is blogging dead, right? I mean, Jonathan, is blogging dead? Or is anybody still doing blogging? Can I do blogging? So there's that big question of why blog? Should I blog? Should I start a blog? That sort of thing. All right. Another thing that I thought about that I want to talk about is just simply showing some simple software that you can use to blog on. I want to talk about some tools that I like to use, and I've included both free and paid. By the way, my daughter makes fun of me because I write in all caps, but that's just how I roll. Since I got out of high school, I just write in all caps. It's kind of my thing. Then we're going to get into a little bit of the actual writing process. So how do I actually approach this idea of writing an actual blog? And also I wanted to talk about keywords or topics, because this is another big thing. And by the way, tell me right now in the chat, which one of these is most interesting to you? Just go ahead and say, Jonathan, the writing process, that's the one that's the most interesting to me. Or maybe you're thinking, I want to know about the tools or the software. Or Jonathan, the thing that I struggle with the most is keyword topics. And of course, let me add one more thing in here, because I think this will be fun tonight, is your Q&As. So your questions, what questions do you have? And as I go through this a little bit tonight and just kind of open up thing. I got several tabs already open on my browser that I'm going to be sharing my screen tonight and talking a little bit about how I do some of this. And I see you couldn't really see that, your Q&As. There you go. That's what I want you to do. I want you to post questions. So post some questions in there. And the easiest way to do this, because on my software that I use for live streaming, and by the way, stick around because Thursday night I'm going to actually show my whole live streaming setup, because I know a lot of people are like, Jonathan, how are you broadcasting this on YouTube, Facebook in 3 places, over on Twitter or Periscope, and all of the comments are coming into one place, and then you're showing them on the screen. How are you showing your iPad? I'm sure all those questions, right? We'll get to that on Thursday. And by the way, I should say this real quick, just so that you guys know where we're headed. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So every night for the next 4 nights, 8 o'clock, we are going to tackle blogging tonight. We're going to tackle podcasting tomorrow. We're going to tackle YouTube. So if you want to do like YouTube videos, we're going to open up YouTube, show you kind of what I do for my YouTube videos. And then finally, one that I hear a lot about is live streaming. So I see we got a lot more people hopping in here. Glad you guys are with us right now here tonight. Welcome. And let me come back to here for a second. Well, before I do that, which one of these, blogging, podcast, I want to take a little informal survey. Which one of these interests you the most? If you had to pick, which one interests you the most? Blogging, podcast, YouTube videos, live streaming. Now, some of you might say all of them. That's okay. I'll let you cheat. I've got my throat coat tea, so I don't lose my voice this week doing all these fun sessions. But let me know in the chat. And also my wife, Charity, is hanging out in the chat as well. And so she's going to be able to answer some questions as well. So all kinds of great comments. There's lots of comments coming in. So I hear all the above, says Ivan. Blogging, says Darren. Val says blogging. Marissa says podcast and live stream. Mike says blogging. Tom says blogging. Awesome. So go ahead and put that in there. And some of you, when I asked you, like, what part of the process do you want to see tonight? I see website formats, all of it, writing process, keywords, writing, yes, the writing process, topic selection, why blog, niche, software, so all of it. Awesome. So we've got plenty to cover tonight for sure. So again, let me just say welcome to, man, we got a lot of people on tonight. Now, as part of the reason why I wanted to do this in the evening as well, because I know for a lot of people that are working during the day, at least here in the U.S., and so I wanted to make sure that these classes were available for you guys to tune in. So again, get it on the calendar every night this week. It could be the single best investment heading into 2021 for you to finally nail down one of these. Maybe for some of you, you've been thinking about a podcast for a long time, or you have a blog, you just don't know what to do. Or I've been thinking about doing live streaming, something that's real interesting to me, but I don't even know where to start, what camera to have, how to do it on a budget, those sort of things. Or I want to do a YouTube channel. Then tune in each night for the next several nights, and you're going to get a lot of these questions answered. So awesome. So hello, everybody. Glad that you're here. And I see the questions coming in. What I encourage you to do is put a capital Q in front of the question, because there's lots of chat coming in on my side. And as I scroll through, it's just easier for me to see the big letter Q before your question. So Q : ask your question. All right. Awesome. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I want to go back to the iPad, and I want to talk about answering this question. Why blog? Right? That's a question a lot of us have. Why blog? Okay, so here's the thing. Because I hear people all the time, they're like, Jonathan, is blogging dead? And the answer is no. Blogging is not dead. It's just you don't realize that you're doing blogging, that you're coming across blogs. See, here's the thing. Does anybody use Google? Do you guys use Google? Google or some kind of search engine. And what do you do when you go to Google? You type in a question, you type something you want. Google is sending back, you send you to a page, and on that page are what? Links for you to click on. Now, other than like a YouTube video that's sitting in your search results, what are all of these links? Well, these links are pages that exist on websites, right? Well, how did those pages get there? Somebody created content on those pages. These, I would submit to you, are articles, which we could also call blog post. That's what these are. Somebody created these, right? Somebody took the time to write this article, and then somebody else, whether it's a business or an individual, did that, right? Is this making sense? I hope it is. These are all just individual pages that a company or person or people created. Now, what if you could show up in Google for those terms? That's what we're talking about tonight. Okay? Now, if you want another specific example, let's actually talk about Pinterest. Now, I know guys don't use Pinterest as much, but ladies, you will get this. So when you are on Pinterest and you do a search, what do you see? You see all of these, what they call pins, right? Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go over to Pinterest, you'll see it. It's just endless scrolling of thumbnails. They're pins. So let's say, for example, we want to find a special, we want to find some really creative way to make Christmas cookies. So you put in creative Christmas cookies. Okay, are we with me so far? And what's happening? You get all these different pins and you're looking at pictures and you're reading the titles on the pictures, you know, Christmas tree cookies in 15 minutes, and you click on one. When you click on one, where are you going? You're going to somebody's blog. Somebody created that blog. Somebody's benefiting on that blog, either from advertisements or affiliate income. Maybe they sell courses. Maybe they want to just get people on an email list so they can, you know, earn money other ways. There's lots of ways to earn money, but all of these are blogs. So whether we're talking about Pinterest, whether we're talking about Google search, blogging is still very much alive. Last thing I want to say on this, and then we'll move on. As you can tell, I'm kind of passionate about this. Here's the deal. There are two types of websites out there. One, and I talk about this in my new book, I think it was chapter 10. And without going into all of it, there's two types of websites. Let's take a coach. So here's a person, he's a coach, and he wants to start a business. He wants to get paid to coach. He wants to write books, speak, but he also wants to get paid to coach, right? He's kind of got two options. The first option is a traditional website, right? And so on that traditional website, you've got, a contact. Here's an about page. I'll just put A for an about page. Here's a contact us page, and then maybe there's a work with me page, but there's probably 5 pages on that. Now, let's say this coach decides instead to start sharing his knowledge, to start a blog. So he starts a blog and he publishes a blog post. And he publishes a blog post, and he publishes a blog post, and he publishes a blog post. And he's doing maybe one a week for a year. And after a year, one a week, how many does he have? He has 52 blog posts, right? Now, here's the question. If this is Google, which of these would you rather have? Would you rather be this guy who's got 5 chances of showing up in the search results? Now, obviously, I'm simplifying everything because the truth is with keywords, your one blog post can show up on multiple searches. We're really simplifying here, but I want to get to the point. Or would you rather be this person who's got 52 plus in Google? If this was a fishing pond, right? Fishing pole. You can tell I'm having a little bit too much fun tonight with my drawing. But I just want to emphasize this point because this is something that I think people, they think, well, if I publish a blog post, it just kind of goes off into the night. It kind of rides off into the sunset. Nobody will ever find it ever again. Wrong. I have people who came to my blog today from blog post I wrote 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Now, you've got to be writing evergreen content, meaning content that's still relevant. Obviously, if I'm a news site, that content's probably not relevant anymore. But is this making sense? Let me know in the chat. I just want to check in with everybody. Is this helpful? Do you guys see kind of a bigger picture here? Now, what if these 52 were 352, right? Now you got 352, and not only that, but here's the big secret that nobody knows, okay? This is a big secret. One blog post, can, and I'm just gonna, let's say keywords, okay? Let's say all of these are different keywords, and let me just move this up so you can see it. All these K's represent different keywords. One blog post can actually rank for multiple keywords. That's right. The blog post that gets the most traffic for me probably ranks for over 50 plus keywords because why? There's so many different words in the blog post. So people are finding it. So it's not just like one post goes into one slot in Google, it goes in multiple. And this is why more content works. This is why a blog post that maybe has 2,000 words has the potential for ranking for more keywords. And this is also why your contact page does not rank in Google. Doesn't have much value to share. Your about page probably doesn't rank unless somebody Googles your name. All right, I've spent enough time there, but that is why blog. So we can cross that off. All right, so hopefully you guys are convinced tonight why blogging builds up over time. All right, so let's talk about software. So I'm gonna go share my screen now. And again, I see questions coming in. I've left time toward the end to kind of answer your questions. But let me start by showing you, and I just got to move around some windows that you guys don't see right now. Just trying to get some of these out of my way here. All right. Okay, so this is inside a WordPress blog. This is how I got started. This is one way that you can do blogging is by using WordPress. WordPress was built for it. WordPress comes with lots of great benefits. It's search engine friendly. So in this, we've got blog posts that are in here, right? So in fact, here's one. Why do people blog? 8 powerful reasons why. And so let me just jump into one of these. And now I've recently added Elementor to as my theme. I really, really love it. It's sped up my site, but that's a whole nother discussion. I'm not going to get into that. Themes is another discussion. But in essence, this is where you put together a blog post. Now, if I were to hit, this is your traditional place here. If I hit edit with Elementor, it's going to look a little bit different, but you don't have to have Elementor, but I just want to show you how it looks. So here I can actually click on any of these and I could do my writing inside of these blocks. Okay? Title up here, so on and so forth. The reason why Elementor is kind of a cool theme is because you can drag and drop things like, oh, I want to put a button in the middle of my blog post, or I want to add a video, or I want to add an image. So it allows you to kind of do some of those things. So let me just back up. And I'm going to come back around to the writing process. I just want to kind of show an overview. So back to WordPress editor, continue. All right, so this looks just like you're creating a Word document, right? You're just sitting in here and you could type and write it in here. In a minute, I'm going to talk about writing and tell you kind of one of my favorite places and what I do. But we're going to get into more of the writing process in just a second. Okay. The second place is Kajabi. Now, this right here is kind of a fresh install of Kajabi because I have a multiple site account. And the reason why I'm a big fan of Kajabi is because not only is it your website and it's your blog, but it can also host courses in your membership site. It can make sales for you. It can create funnels and landing pages. It's an all-in-one. It can control your email list, and you can see all that here. But I'm not going to get into all of that tonight, but I wanted to show you that if you click on website, and then over here you have blog, and again, this is kind of a dummy account, but this is how yours would look if you were to use Kajabi to start your blog. All right, and then here's just kind of this is just kind of a generic blog post. Now you can see here in Kajabi, if I wanted to add a video to my blog post, I could do that right here. Here's my title. Here's where I can write my blog post. Pretty simple and straightforward. Over here's where I can add an image over here on the right to show up in my blog post. This is where I could change my URL to be whatever I wanted. Down here is a little bit of SEO, which is search engine optimization. This is what shows up in the search engine, like in Google. This is the title that would, for the most part, show up. This is the page description. So, all right. If I were to preview it, you can get a sense of kind of how it looks. So there it is. You got the title, you got an image, and then here's how it looks. Obviously, this is just sample text to show you. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And that's what I love about Kajabi is it's pretty simple. I could come in here and I could write something, publish it, boom. It is out there and it's getting indexed in Google. Okay, so that is a little bit of kind of the software. So I am going to cross that off even though you guys can't see it because I know I'm sharing the other screen. I want to talk about some tools, free and paid. So how do you come up with ideas? Now, I do a whole class on this. There's a process, but I'm going to just share with you a couple, I'm going to share with you 3 ways tonight. All right. So the first thing you can do is you can actually start by just having a place where you actually collect, having a place where you actually just collect your ideas. Now that can be simple. It could be on your phone. It could be a lot of places. I use Asana, which I'll maybe show here in just a little bit. Asana is a place where like I can literally use my phone if I get a blog idea or a content idea, and I could just quickly put it into the app, boom, and Asana's free. So we might talk about that in a little bit. The other approach is to talk about what are people searching for, right? Because here's the big like mindset shift that you have to have. You have to create content for people, not just what is it that I want to talk about. What are people searching for? Who are the people you're trying to help? And what is it that they want answers on? And you might say, I don't know, Jonathan. I have no idea. Well, this is something I learned very early on back in 2009 that really helped to like catapult my first blog on career coaching for accountants. I went and found the questions they were asking, and I wrote articles or blog posts 1 a week to answer those questions. So let me start with a couple of ideas. So let's start with again, if you guys are joining us late, we are broadcasting this in lots of different places. Tonight is just about kind of talking through this. There is no kind of formal presentation or slides. And I see all the comments coming back in. I will answer your questions. And let me know real quick, kind of where I am right now. Is this helpful? Is it helpful for me to just kind of have tabs open and just kind of showing you tools and things? I just want to check in and make sure we're heading the right direction. You guys will let me know in the comments, just yes or yes, this is helpful. That would be great. Because on my end, it feels very kind of unstructured. But hopefully by me kind of showing you a little bit of what I like to do, this will be helpful for you. Okay, awesome. I see all the comments coming in. Thanks, guys. All right. So one place you can start is actually Google. Okay, so Google is a great place to start. So if I had a woodworking blog, we're going to use that tonight. You can see here that I can just type it in, and this below is what's called autocomplete. So woodworking tips, tools, projects, classes near me, gifts. Now here's the cool thing. If you do A afterwards, look what it does. Woodworking apron, woodworking apprenticeship, woodworking auctions. Now this, what I'm showing you, is actual searches people are searching for. This isn't just, Google put a directory in there. This is, people are actually searching for this stuff. And this can give you ideas like, ooh, I want to do a blog post on a woodworking leather apron or on a woodworking assembly table, right? I can do the letter B, I can do C, I can do D. See, so you can get ideas just by simply typing in a topic you want to talk about. You can also do this on the front end. You can go A, B, C, D. So there's that way. Now another way is if I hit and search for woodworking, I want you to see something I have that you may not have installed. So let's let it run its course here. Look at this. Keyword Surfer. Do you guys see this? This is a free extension for Chrome and Firefox that you can add to your browser. All of you could go add this tonight. So if you go over to, I think if I do keyword Surfer extension, or you go to the Chrome store, you can actually see it right here. So you can go to Chrome store, you can just Google keyword surfer extension, and look right here. This will say add to Chrome, and then what it'll do is it'll put this little icon up here. You see these little icons that I have kind of on my address bar? I know it's really, really small. But now when and this is totally free, and they claim that they're going to keep this free all the time. Now when I search in Google, it will tell me the search volume, right? I can look over here and see, and let's say I look through this list and I'm like, ooh, woodworking bench. If I hit the little star, it actually adds it to my clipboard right here. Keyword gift ideas, keyword apron, keyword plans, right? And then I can come up here to the clipboard and I can see, there's and I can export these as a CSV, or I can just keep them here. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you like this little keyword surfer? This is a free. Now, Keywords Everywhere, some of you might know about Keywords Everywhere, but they've moved to like becoming more and more of a paid tool. But I really like that it shows you the search volume. Now, there's more that I do with this. I'm not going to be able to go into all that tonight, but I wanted to show you that. Now, there is a paid tool that I really like, and it's called KW Finder. You can get a free trial, but this is a paid tool. But let me just show you quickly how this works. So we're going to do woodworking. I'm going to go United States and English. And then I'm going to click Find Keywords. All right, and what this tool is doing is it has a sophisticated scoring system. I'm not going to go into all how it figures it out, but you can see woodworking by itself is very, very hard. So it's going to be hard to rank for woodworking, obviously, right? But notice I also have autocomplete. I can click on autocomplete and it'll actually fetch some keywords that are from that autocomplete that I showed you earlier. But what's cool is it will actually analyze. It'll actually analyze your keywords so you can find ones that are more easy to rank. So look at this. Here's a good example right here. This right here, woodworking apron, would be, if I had a woodworking blog, I would definitely star this. Here's why. And it was 18 days ago. Let's confirm. Yes. Look at this. It is a still easy to rank for keyword phrase. And it's got over 3,600 search volume. So this would be a great keyword to turn into a title. Maybe it's the 6 most popular woodworking aprons, right? And then maybe I get the links from Amazon because they've got woodworking aprons over there, and I could potentially earn an affiliate commission off pointing people to what I consider to be the top 6 woodworking aprons. Okay, that's just a simple explanation. We got a lot that we're trying to cover tonight, and I'm trying to keep it timely. But I wanted to show you why a keyword finder, KW Finder, is a really cool tool. It does a lot more, but in simplicity, it helps you to quickly find keyword phrases that are a little bit easier to rank for instead of sticking with stuff that's harder. Okay? All right, let's do one more on ideas. And it's this obnoxious guy from answerthepublic.com. Some of you that have been around, you've heard me talk about this. I love this tool. And so if I were to use woodworking, search, check out what this tool does. This tool will go out and it'll search for all the questions that people have asked in Google and kind of deliver it over to me on a silver platter. So there are 78 questions here. And you can see them all here. These are questions related to are, when, will, can, why, who, how, what, which. Why is this so powerful? This is powerful because what is your audience doing? The people you want to attract to your blog, what are they doing? They're using Google to search for answers. And questions asked in Google are prime for blog posts or articles to answer the questions, right? This is how I built my first blog. I was able to answer all the questions that people were asking as far as accountants and their career. You can actually do a download CSV, and you can scroll down and see there's more actually. You just keep scrolling down. You can see them in different ways. All right, so I'm going to pause here just for a second, and I'm going to move this around. I'm going to come back here with you guys, and I just want to, I'm sure there's some questions coming through. Next, we're going to move into a little bit of like creating your headline and just some general ideas about actually writing the blog post. But I wanted to pause here for a second and just check in with you guys because I know a lot of stuff's been coming in here. Rich Berry says keyword surfer info is great. Awesome. Hope you enjoy that. Alicia says, wow, love it. Hopefully you guys are getting lots of ideas here. Beth says, I'm sure the keyword surfer will help me. Thanks. Val says, was that called Answer the Public? Yes, answerthepublic.com is actually free to use. And you can download the CSV, and you will have all those questions to look through, and you might have blog content for all of 2021, just on that simple tip. Alicia says, how much does KW Finder cost? I think there's different levels and different tiers. I do think it's around $29 a month, if I remember right, but that's going off the top of my head. There's way more that it can do. It can actually, you can connect your domain to it, and it will track which keywords are ranking in Google, and you can actually see how they're progressing over time. Del says, great tip, Jonathan. Awesome. Megs says, yes, there are many tabs, but you're bringing in your thought process and logic. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Question about DuckDuckGo. Yeah, you can use DuckDuckGo. It's becoming more and more popular. It's a alternative search engine. And yes, whether it's Bing or Google or DuckDuckGo or lots of other search engines out there, they can all still find your blog. Absolutely. Maya says, very helpful. Thanks. You're welcome. You know, this is a good question. Walter says, does DuckDuckGo work the same as Google in terms of the way they rank stuff? Lots of people are moving away from Google. Yes. You know, I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that question. It'd be interesting to do some research, and I may do some research, especially with more and more people going towards DuckDuckGo. I know it's such a funny name, but so was Google when it first started. Yeah, that'd be interesting because more people are using it. It could be prime for opportunity for bloggers if they can find kind of what's causing things to work over there. All right. Rich got a question about creating authoritative blogs. Yeah, and this is kind of the idea, the way that I see it. There's kind of two types of blogs out there, and it's been that way for years. There's niche blogs, and there's a kind of more authoritative blogs. Niche blogs is where they're going to do, you know, 5 to 10 keyword-rich blog posts and try to really work on getting those to rank. Whereas an authoritative blog is just this ever-growing reservoir of blog content. Megs, which software are you using to be able to write on the iPad and show it on video at the same time? Yeah, I might show that on the live streaming on Thursday night, so come back and watch Thursday night. But the app's called Notability, and I might be able to show you how I'm showing it on screen and all that on Thursday. A question from Floyd, basic equipment to start your YouTube channel. Floyd, that's Wednesday night, so tonight's all about blogging. But yeah, all right, I may have missed some questions, but I want to keep going for the sake of time because I got a few more things that I want to cover. So let's say you got your title, you got your keyword, but now you're like, Jonathan, how do I create the headline? Or how do I write the blog post? Does anybody want to know that? Here's what I like to do. I always choose the title of the blog post first because that dictates to me what's in the content. So for example, if I'm doing 5 reasons you should publish a Kindle book, I know my subpoints are going to be 5 reasons, right? And then I write a paragraph for each of those 5 reasons. I have an introduction and conclusion. There's a blog post. So your title, a really good headline or blog post title, indicates the content. It dictates it. So that's why we want to start there first. Now there's a lot that I can say on that, but I'm going to come back here to sharing my screen because I just want to show kind of one tool tonight. And again, another free tool to help you. So this is by SEO Presser. So it's, you know, if you Google SEO Presser blog title generator, this is one of a few, but I really, really love this. So, you know, we're going with woodworking tonight. So we're going to type in woodworking, generate titles. Now check out what happens. How cool is this? So it's going to throw at us some title ideas. Some of these will make you laugh out loud because they make no sense, but you got to kind of stick with it. Here, this one's interesting. 10 common mistakes everyone makes in woodworking. Bam! Now I know what my direction is. See, when you have a direction, it makes it so much easier to actually write the content, right? Obviously, the Millionaire Guide on Woodworking to Help You Get Rich is not a good title, but we can hit generate more titles. And 5 unexpected ways woodworking can make your life better. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I would never guess to do an article like that or a blog post, but I find that interesting. 10 outrageous ideas for your woodworking. So you get the point, right? You see how you can get inspired quickly by just going through here and kind of generating some titles. And of course, there is a limit. But if you put in your email address, you can actually, and it's still free, you can actually do more. I have already done that, but I'm not going to take the chance to do that. So again, you can put in your email address and they'll let you use the tool unlimited. But hopefully you like that idea. Do you guys like that idea? Let me know. All right. So once we got our title, now it's time to write the blog post. Now, a tool that I'm really enjoying, I typically don't like writing in the actual software because there's an internet connection, things can happen. Sometimes WordPress, and let me come back here full screen. Where did we go? There we go. I don't like writing actually in WordPress. I don't even like writing in Kajabi. And the reason why is because what if you forget to hit the save button? Or what if the autosave doesn't work? What if your Wi-Fi goes out all of a sudden? Then the stuff that you wrote is not saved. So there's a tool that I like to use for blog posts and writing my emails. I do the same thing. And come back into my screen. And that is right here. This is the Bear app. Now, obviously you could look at this and think, well, this is dark screened. You can choose different themes. You can have it be white if you want. But here's an example of a blog. I wrote an article for Lead Magazine as a guest post. And you can see here, this is where I wrote it in. I can even get rid of these 2 columns and just have distraction-free writing here. and I can write. And here's the cool part. It saves automatically on my computer, whether I have an internet connection or not. And it even has an iPhone app. So if you wanted to blog while your wife is Christmas shopping, have at it. You can start writing right there on your phone as well, and it will save it. Pretty easy. If I just click on this button right here, I can create a new title and say we're doing 10 woodworking tips for beginners. And then I can start writing my blog post. Put on some music. I love putting on some music, not music with words. I use something called brain.fm. Brain.fm, it's an app on your phone, or you can have it on the desktop. And I use it to kind of put it in my ears. I put 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes it's an hour, and I just give myself to the deep work of writing the blog post. So that's a tool that I like to use. And let me actually go back to the iPad for a second, because some of you want to know, get past some of this to a clean sheet. Some of you want to know, okay, but how do I actually structure the blog post, right? How do I actually do that? Well, here's how you do this, and I actually covered this. I believe it's chapter 12 of my book. If you don't have the book, Your Message Matters, get the book, because I share these 3 templates. I've used these 3 templates for 11 years, and I never detour from them, hardly ever, because why? They work. So the first one, we're going to do it in red, is called the story template. The second template that I like to use is the how. And the last template, we'll go purple. This one is why. So for the story template, you want to take a story, your story, and you just start right into the story in the introduction. So something funny happened to you, or maybe there's a story when you're 10 years old or 20 years old. By the way, this is like a separate whole class I could do on thinking back through the stories of your life and kind of capturing the ideas, because you can use those stories. If you guys that have read my book, you heard me talk about stories when I was a 10-year-old boy. I told several personal stories. That's because I have a story catalog of my own life. Because why? Because what you do is you come in here and you write your story, and then you share your lessons, right? Here's lesson number 1 from this story. Here's lesson number 2, lesson number 3. And what this does is it applies it to their life, okay? Again, super quick review of this. The how, we have to think steps, right? So you have your intro. And really what you're saying is, how to write a resume in 24 hours. Okay, by doing what? Well, by doing your step 1, step 2 by doing this, step 3 by doing this, and then the steps are there, right? And I can write a paragraph under each step. I've got a blog post. The last one is the why template. You're going to have an intro, but you're answering the question why. This is persuasional, okay? So people, picture someone crossing their arms and telling me, well, why? They're asking the question, why? Why should I do this? Why should I publish a Kindle book? You want to answer it with the word because. So then we have maybe 1, 2, 3 points. Because of the impressive statistics on the Kindle. Because people will view you as an expert when you publish your own book because Amazon's the #2 most visited site online, right? These become the reasons, the subheadlines, and then under them are the points. And so that's a real kind of simplified version of that. But I have used those 3 templates and I just tell myself, which angle am I going for here? What is it that I'm wanting to accomplish? All right, I'm going to answer a couple questions here, but before I do, I want to know, would you like to go in more process step by step? Tonight was really kind of why and a little bit of tools, but how would you like to actually know the actual step by step in starting your blog and getting it going for 2021? Well, here's what we're going to do, and I'm really excited about this. I have a membership called FastTrack Lab. Now, FastTrack Lab, the easiest way to describe it, somebody told me this a few years ago, and it's true. It's really like Netflix for bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers, and even live streamers now, because we've got the content in there for you. And so here's what we're doing. We're doing something very, 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 actually something we've never done for years. We are actually opening up FastTrack Lab. And it's been a little while. We kind of do it a little bit every once in a while with an opportunity for people to join. But this week, as I'm going through and explaining some of this, I'm going to give you the opportunity to join FastTrack Lab if you're not a member. If you are here and you're a FastTrack Lab member, maybe tell people why you like FastTrack Lab, because I know we've got some FastTrack Lab members in the house. And FastTrack Lab is monthly live classes that we do. So I do a monthly live class every single month. In fact, we have one coming up this week. And I also do a live office hours where I can be your mentor and coach you. You can come, show up, and ask questions. Now, here's the cool thing. Check this out. What we're actually doing is this is our lineup for the next couple months. So for all FastTrack Lab members, December is going to be all about how to start a blog masterclass. This is a brand new training that I'm putting together, kind of showing you step by step. We'll go way more in depth than we did here. Then in January, we are going to do the how to start a podcast masterclass. This is for those of you who may be thinking about podcasting, or Jonathan, maybe in 2021, after I get my blog going, I might want to start a podcast. That's the focus in January. February, we're going to do how to start a YouTube channel masterclass. I'm going to show you everything step by step, checklists, processes for how we do it. And then in March, we're going to do how to start a live stream show masterclass. Now, what I'm excited about with this is that all the FastTrack Lab members are going to be set up for success in 2021, because you can use one of those or multiple. I actually use all 4 in my business. I don't recommend you start there, but I can show you a little bit of how I incorporate all 4 without trying to come up with ideas for each. I actually repurpose all of this stuff. And in FastTrack Lab, we're going to be talking about some of that. Now, here's the cool part of this. The cool part about this is I'm also offering a few unique bonuses for people who join. So bonus number 1 is you'll actually get the Discover Your Message Challenge. This is a $197 course that you can get for free and actually dive into tonight. So if you're like, Jonathan, I still don't know my audience, my niche, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to focus on for my blog, we have a 14-day Discover Your Message Challenge. Bonus 2, the Launch Your Platform Challenge. That's a $297 course that you get for free for joining FastTrack Lab. Bonus 3, you get to stream over 217 past classes on blogging, podcasting, video marketing. You can just do a search and find a class on how I do my business that you can replicate that for yourself. And then here's the cool part. Those of you who have attended Your Message Matters Live, you're going to love this. A special bonus just for this week. You're going to get a free ticket to Your Message Matters Live. This is an in-person, or it might be virtual. Obviously, COVID depends on that, and we might actually do both. So you can choose whether to travel or not travel. It's a 2-day workshop that you're going to get for joining FastTrack Lab tonight. So here's the rundown. Everything you're going to get access to the monthly live classes with me. We got the first one this week. Monthly live office hours calls with me, where you can ask me directly questions and I answer questions. You can stream all of our past classes in our vault. It's a $997 value. Bonus 1, you get the Discover Your Message Challenge for $197. Bonus 2, the Launch Your Platform Challenge, also $297. A bonus free ticket to Your Message Matters Live, $297 value. If you were to pay for all of those separately, that's over $1,778. You guys can get started right now tonight for just $30 a month. And here's the thing. You can cancel anytime. There's no contracts. If you're not getting value out of FastTrack Lab, you can cancel at any time. So you have nothing to lose. Everything to gain. You get all of this stuff on here just for giving it a try tonight. So you want to go to jmill.biz/lab, and I think Charity's there. I don't know if Charity, if you're in Facebook or YouTube or both, maybe you could put that in there, jmill.biz/lab. And then I'm going to answer some of your questions before we wrap things up tonight about blogging. I've seen several really, really great questions come in. In fact, let's see here. All right. Here's a great question from Walter. Why do bloggers always charge amounts ending in 9-7 or 7? Here's the thing. There was marketing research done years ago, Walter, and things ending in 5, 7, and even 9 are proven. It's proven in our brains. Like, take for example, you go to Walmart. If something said $20, it's different than if it's $19.95. So people a lot smarter than me, way before bloggers or internet marketers, have used that used it as a strategy because the way that our brains are wired, the way that our brains work. Obviously, this is $30 a month. And by the way, there's one more thing that I forgot to mention. So let me come back to main camera. Here's the deal. I have done FastTrack Lab for 7 or 8 years now. And when I launched it at $20 a month. Then a month later, I moved it to $25. And then a month later, I moved it to $30. Since that time frame, over 8 years, I have never raised the price of FastTrack Lab. Part of the reason is I wanted to make sure it was affordable. But here's the deal. With adding in these courses, so that when you log in, you have courses to start with, the fact that there's over 200 some past classes, here's the big announcement. Starting in 2021, FastTrack Lab is going to be $47 a month. Now, for everybody who's currently FastTrack Lab members, your price is never going to change. So if you're like, Jonathan, I used to be in Lab, but now I'm not, my recommendation would be jump into Lab this week, because the next time we open it up next year, it's going to $47. Part of that is the extra courses we put in there, a lot of the vault and the training, plus some of the cool stuff I have in mind that I don't want to announce yet, that's exclusively for Lab members, and the value is going up. So yes, Diane asked, are the live classes recorded? Yes, all the live classes are recorded. So all the live classes we do, they're recorded, they're put into the members area. So if you can't attend live, you get to watch them at all times. You can watch it whenever you want. You can log in on your phone, you can log in on an iPad, your computer, your desktop, and watch the classes at any time. So, yes. Alicia, will current FastTrack Lab members get these bonuses? Yes. So you will be getting those bonuses. So I haven't announced to lab members yet that I'm going to gift them a free ticket for Your Message Matters, but you kind of pulled it out of me there. So absolutely, Alicia. In fact, it's already in FastTrack Lab. All the bonuses are already in there right now. All right. This is a great question. If you are just starting a new website, any tips on how to increase your ranking quickly? Absolutely. Now, I don't have time to go into it today, but this is not a trick. I hope this doesn't come across as like I'm tricking you to join lab, because I'm really not. I am going to be teaching that exact thing in the How to Start a Blog masterclass coming up. But here's this will give you enough to get started, okay? Because I always want to be transparent, open, and honest. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm putting a sales pressure on them. So if you go to YouTube and search KGR keyword, this isn't a blogging thing. It's kind of a niche affiliate site thing, but it works great for brand new blogs. KGR stands for Keyword Golden Ratio. It's a gentleman by the name of, his last name's Cunnington, Doug Cunnington. He discovered this with Google, and it works really, really well. And basically, the essence of it is, and again, this is getting technical, but I'll share one piece of it. You want to actually find Google keyword terms that are not searched more than 250 times. So they have kind of a lower, and you may say, well, does that mean I'm going to get less people? Not necessarily. But you want to find those terms because you want to use those terms for newer sites. That's all I can say right now. There's a kind of another piece to it, but it would take probably another 15, 20 minutes to explain. But I hope that helps get you in the right direction. All right. Ruth, how long is this offer going to run? Yes, good question. So until Friday. So as I'm teaching through these masterclass or these behind the scenes. So tonight we did blogging. Tomorrow night, come back for podcasting if you're curious about podcasting. Then we're going to do YouTube channel. You know, how to start a YouTube channel on Wednesday night, and then Thursday we're going to do live streaming. All of that stuff's free. That's my gift to you, to just come and hang out and absorb all of it. But those who want a more structured, like step-by-step, how to actually start it. So we're just talking about blogging, but how to start these things. That's going to be in our masterclass over the next 4 months inside FastTrack Lab. But you will have until Friday night. Then we're going to close down the doors. That's the last time we're offering FastTrack Lab for this year. And then when we open it again next year, the new pricing model is going to be $47 a month. So everybody that's currently a Lab member, or those of you who decide to join Lab, you will be grandfathered in at the lower price, and you can keep that lower price as long as you feel like you're getting use out of it. Again, there is no trick here. You can cancel anytime. All right. Awesome. All right. Let me see if I got any other questions. I'm going to try to keep these around an hour each night because I know it's a commitment. And we're right just over that. But I'm just scanning through here for any last questions that I may have missed. Mike, how do you decide or organize what content goes on fixed pages and what gets saved for scheduled blog posts? Fixed pages for me are only going to be sales pages or landing pages. Any content pages are blog pages for me. So if it's content, right, content that I want to create so that I'm getting people to show up to my site either from Google or social media, those are blog pages, or blog post. Actual pages are going to be either landing pages or sales pages or information pages like my about page, my speaking page, things like that. All right. Looks like I answered a lot of these. What was the writing app called? It's called Bear, like B-E-A-R, just like the animal, Bear. That said, I would like to know the step-by-step for blogging, baby steps for me. Yes, that's what that masterclass is for. It's for people who don't know how to blog. This is how you start a blog. We're actually, to be honest with you, we're teaching that class this Thursday live to FastTrack Lab. So those of you tonight, if you're interested in blogging and you're thinking about joining Lab and you want to be there for that, that's happening this Thursday. Now that's the only one that's like very kind of close. The other ones are going to be in January, February, and March. But again, you will get the recording even if you can't attend live. But the how to start, and let me just show this again. The how to start a blog masterclass, which is the baby step by step, is happening on Thursday. Okay? So that is happening this Thursday. Everybody who's a lab member will get a link to join me for that. I see a question about the bonuses again. So here they are again. These are the extra bonuses that you get. So you get the Discover Your Message Challenge. You can go start that right now and figure out who your audience is. The Launch Your Platform Challenge, which actually helps you set up the branding, the website, and more. And then, of course, the classes in the vault, and then the free ticket for Your Message Matters Live. Again, here's another rundown of everything. Every month I show up live twice. You also get access to the recording. But I do a live class. We call it the Fast Track class. Then we do live office hours where I share with you what's working right now and also answer your questions. You can stream all the past classes just like Netflix. And then you get those bonuses, add them all up, and you can get started tonight for just that $30. Again, we have a special link set up for this. You can't find that link anywhere else. You can't go to our website and find that. This is a special link, jmill, it's just my name abbreviated, jmill.biz/lab, and you get instant access to all that stuff tonight. By the way, if you join the program, just let me know, yes, that you joined tonight so we can welcome you in as we kind of wrap things up here. Awesome. Alicia says, Fast Track Lab's phenomenal. Get your master's in blogging with this program. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Here's a question. Can we pay annually? Yes. So here's the thing. I didn't want it to be too confusing on the page, so here's what we've done. If you register for Lab Tonight for $30 a month, you will be given an opportunity to upgrade annually, and you'll end up getting 2 months for free. So there's that option to upgrade. So if you're interested in the annual, do the first one, and when you choose the annual, it'll cancel your monthly. And you can just get it annual. Now here's the cool part. By doing 2 months for free, the new annual price of Fast Track Lab, next time we open it, will be $564. The annual price for Lab with the 2 free months is like $250. So it's going to be 50% less to this week what other people are going to be able to get it for in the future. Beth said, just signed up for the $30 a month membership. Welcome, Beth. She goes, I don't have the money to upgrade right now. That's fine. That's just an opportunity to get a two free month discount. But you do not have to do that. I need to learn how to blog the right way. I think I will with your FastTrack Lab. Yes, we got a class this Thursday. If whether or not you can attend live, we will have that recording up by Friday. And we're going to be doing that very thing, talking about blogging. Paul, what do you think of Evernote? So here's the funny thing, Paul. I used to be a huge user of it. In fact, I was actually one of the first 100,000 people. Now that sounds like, why is that something to brag about? I was one of the first 100,000 people to actually get Evernote. So, I mean, I was a super early adopter because they sent out a thing after one of their anniversaries and they actually knew what number you were in the process of it. I still have Evernote, but here's the thing. To me, it's become more and more bloated. There's software and it like hogs up memory on my computer. And so the Bear app for me has become just simple text, right? So it doesn't really take up a lot of memory. And then I've been leaning more and more towards Google Drive because of my business and having virtual employees to organize all of our stuff more in Google Drive. So, but it's still, it still works. It's still good for people. Where is the lab? Is it a Facebook group or a separate platform? So it's a couple of things. It is a private Facebook group, but it is a separate platform. So now what we do is we actually do the live classes in the Facebook group. So the Facebook group's where you can attend a live class, just like tonight is a good example, except it's a little bit more structured and instead of just kind of behind the scenes. But we do those live classes, and then all of them get put into a membership site. So actually a login. So you'll be receiving a login, and in the login, you can start on the courses too. The Discover Your Message course if you want, or the Launch Your Platform course. You can have access to both of those and get started right away. Do you teach the tech stuff too? Absolutely. Yes, we do. But we try to do it in a non-techie way. So we do walk through a lot of that. In fact, some of that's already in the Launch Your Platform Challenge on how to do certain things like hook up your Google Analytics, or how do I hook up my hosting. So yes, we tackle those things. Sean says, already a FastTrack Lab member. Highly recommend it to everyone. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. Beth said, I'd rather have the yearly for the price. So Beth, here's what I would encourage you to do. Write this email down, Roxanne@marketyourmessage.com, or maybe Charity, you can put that in the chat. Roxanne@marketyourmessage.com. She is my online business manager. She can help you with whatever you need. She's got you, and she will help you get what you wanted. Stephanie, is the login on Kajabi? Yes, but you don't really know it's Kajabi because it's my Market Your Message site. So again, if you're having trouble like getting the login or the login emailed to you, just reach out to Roxanne@marketyourmessage.com. She'll make sure that you get set up as well. Kathy said, just join. Thank you. Blessings. Awesome, Kathy. Glad that you're going to be hanging out with us in lab. It's a lot of fun. Welcome. And last thing, we're going to wrap this up. Tell me your number one takeaway. What was your single biggest takeaway from tonight? Was it a tool I mentioned? Was it, having a better understanding of why a blog can be so powerful, especially in people finding you on Google? Is it about the little keyword tools that I mentioned? The headline title? I mean, man, we talked about a lot tonight. So tell me, what is it? What is it? And Alicia says, yes, absolutely. FastTrack Lab has WordPress trainings. Yeah, I forgot that. So we do have actual WordPress tutorials. We paid for up-to-date WordPress tutorials that show you how to use everything WordPress. You could actually purchase that separately and be $300 a year. We purchased kind of the rights to be able to have that in our membership. You don't have to pay for that. It's just part of being Lab. So there's WordPress tutorials on how to do everything WordPress. All right. Share your takeaway. Sean's blogging's not dead. That's right. We just don't hear the term anymore. We're just not talking about blogging. But every time you click on something on Pinterest, you're going to someone's blog. Every time you click on a link from Google, most of the time you're going to someone's blog. Now we might call it articles, we might call it website pages, but guys and gals, it's a blog. Blogging's not going anywhere. Paul's takeaway, writing your headline first. Yes, that, my friend, is a great takeaway. You figure out the headline, it makes writing the blog post easier. Awesome. Bess was, I can do this. Like the way you explain your ways to get your content. Yeah. Ruth liked the keyword surfer. Seems very helpful. Yeah, free. Never have to pay for it. Get you some ideas. Awesome. So many more in there. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up because, again, I want to make sure these are concise. I know many of you, your time's valuable. And I hope that spending some time here was super helpful for you and an encouragement to you. I'd encourage you to come back tomorrow night. We're going to talk about podcasting. I'm going to go into showing you like cheap microphones that you can buy. I'm going to talk about ways that you can record it, like cheap ways that you can start a podcast and get a podcast up and running. A little bit about how I do it. So tomorrow night's all about podcasting. Wednesday night, we'll get into YouTube. So doing videos or a YouTube channel. And then we'll do live streaming. And I'll show you my live stream setup that I have here. And maybe have a second camera and show you around the little video studio here as well. So come back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. All of you who joined Lab, welcome. We're glad you're here. You will be getting communication now from us about our class on Thursday. Come join us for that class. I believe it's at 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And if you can't attend live, you can go watch it in our private Facebook group right away because we leave the recording up in the Facebook group. Or you can go watch it in the members area. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Good night. And we'll see you tomorrow night for the podcast behind the scenes tour. See you then. Bye-bye.